Why are we still trying to force people to get to know each other at awkward work mixers or happy hours or on sites? I'm Greg with Retention and Rewards Partners. And I talk a lot about workplace connection. In fact, it's the thing I talk about the most, and it's the thing I'm most passionate about. People want to feel connected to their workplace. People want to know people at work. People function better, do better, and stay longer when they feel like they have friends at work. But the solution is usually, let's have a big on-site and get everybody together. We'll have some drinks, we'll have some dinner, they'll get to know each other, and that will create connection. That's fine. You can keep doing those, but don't expect that you're actually going to create any real connection there. And the reason for that is, number one, it's a one-time event, and people are probably going to show up. Maybe they'll meet some people, trade some stories, but then they're going to go off and they're going to go back to work and they're going to forget all about that connection. It's not really going to grow into a relationship. The second reason is about half of the people are totally uncomfortable there. About half of the people in the world are introverts. And, I don't know the exact numbers. It varies on how you categorize yourself as an introvert, but I am an introvert. And even when I go to these big one-time events, or when I used to go there in my corporate career, I was in corporate HR for 20 plus years and worked at big, huge companies, and we'd have these big, huge events, and I'd go to these events. I mean, I knew some of these people, and I still didn't really socialize and talk to them just because I'm not comfortable in that environment. And so it was really difficult for me to develop relationships at these events, at these big, huge on-sites, or whatever they happen to be called at the time. What worked better for me was connecting with people one-on-one, connecting with them over the phone, connecting with them on video calls, connecting with them in their offices if I could sit down and actually have a one-on-one voice-to-voice conversation with them, where I could ask them questions. I could listen to what was going on with them. I could listen to their priorities. I could think of ways to help them. And then they could say, how can I help you? And I would say, this is the things that are priorities to me. And then we both knew where each other stood. And that really created deeper professional connections for me. And as it created deeper professional connections, it opened up different career opportunities within the organizations I was in, because people got to know who I was. They knew what I could do, and they really knew me as a person. They didn't just know me as the name in a from line on an email, or the name on the slide doing the presentation. They got to know who I was. And so they got comfortable with me. And whenever they had questions or problems or things they needed to solve, they would come to me because they kind of trusted me, because we had this conversation in a one-on-one environment. And so that's what I did throughout my whole career. And for me as an individual, I was able to really extend the trajectory of my career, grow into bigger roles, take on bigger scopes, and really my career benefited a ton from what I would call internal networking. But not everybody knows how to do that, and not everybody's comfortable doing that. So at Retention and Rewards Partners, one of the things we do is we teach employees or leaders how to network internally, and how to go have these conversations in a very intentional way, so that you're starting to develop these relationships that benefit each individual in their career. Now, it also benefits the organization, because as I talked to more leaders, they got to know who I was. And when they needed somebody to help with a project, they tapped me on the shoulder. That helped them because they got their problem solved faster. It also helped because people in the organization knew where different talent was. So through these conversations, people knew who I was, what I could do, and it basically created internal mobility for me and talent mobility for the organization. So if you're looking to create more internal mobility, more talent mobility within your organization, starting to get people to talk to each other and understand each other and learn who the talent is through these very intentional conversations that I teach in my workshops is a great way to enable that and get your other leaders to know who some of your up and coming talent is. So that's what we teach. That's how we do it. We show people how to have this, to grow this internal networking process, both to benefit the employee in their career and the organization in identifying talent. So if you want to know more, follow the page, like the video, reach out to us directly. I'd be happy to tell you more about how we might be able to improve the talent mobility within your organization.